One of the most interesting things about English is our verb system. Look at this word swim. I'm looking at it, and to me that just seems like a command, like go swim. However, what if there's a subject attached to it? What if it's like, I swim? That's technically, it could be that. I'm just missing that. What if, like, you swim? The problem with English is in order to know who is doing the action, we have to have a subject, such as I, you, or he, she, it. Keeping them in the singulars, of course. But in the case of Latin, we do not need any of these things. This is unnecessary information, because our verb itself will tell you what the subject is. So let's go ahead and look at the word habere. In our last class, we focused on our endings of O, S, and T. The O meaning that my subject is I, which is when I have my sentence ego habeo, I have. This O exists just because my subject is the word I. Now, the important things about Latin is, again, you do not have to state the subject. The word habeo, by itself, unlike swim, tells me what my subject is. The O tells me my subject is I. So I can have the sentence, Phaelum habeo. And this is where Latin gets a bit confusing, because we want to continue to think that this word is the subject, and like the cat has. But if we actually look at the pieces of the sentence, you'll see there's all sorts of things happening. Phaelum is my direct object. So it's going to happen after my verb. And then habeo itself, the O tells me my subject is I have. So the cat isn't having anything. Phaelum habeo translates to I have a cat. And this is where Latin students get lost. Because there was no subject attached to it, we seem to forget that our endings tell us what the subject is. Habeo is I. You will have to supply it yourself sometimes. So if you see an O at the end of your verb, go ahead, you can write yourself ego to remind you that I have something. I have a cat. You'll see that again with other words. Look at this sentence here. If we were just look at it and guess, it would look like they would say the sentence, the friend sees. However, again, Latin doesn't work like that. When you take a look at our verb, we have two little sections. We have the verb itself, vide, which is to see, and the ending s, which let me know that my subject is an understood to, or you. So I know that I'm going to have an understood you as my subject. Amicum, because of my am, is my direct object, and it is going to come after my verb. So what looked like originally was the friend sees actually becomes you see the friend. So let's review our endings. So if we have a verb ending that is an O, it means your subject is going to be an understood I. And the Latin word for that is ego. S means that your subject is an understood you, which is the Latin word is to. And now T, which is the one that we've been working on, is going to mean that your subject is an understood he, she, or an it. So it's probably going to have a name or such as a subject like the girl, the boy. And I would say look for a name or just a noun as your subject. We don't need to quite know how complex he, she, and it is quite yet. So today I want you to focus on how to actually translate individual words. I want you to work on splitting apart the word and telling me what it means. Let me give you an example. So let's look at my words coquit, cano, and laboras. These are all verbs, but I want to split them up to my actual verb, coqui, and then the letter T. My coqui nose means cooks, and I know my T is an understood he, she, or an it. So what you actually see is one word that meaning he, she, or it cooks. You'll notice that it's a little bit backwards from how we would speak because the subject is actually at the end of the verb. So it's not just cooks, it's he, she, or it cooks. Let's look at cano. My verb ends with an O, so I'm going to split it right here. Kan o. This part means to sing, and the O means I. So kano itself means I sing. And let's take a look at laboras. Labora, meaning work, and the S meaning the subject is you. So laboras means you work. So the best idea is to just get a lot of practice seeing an O meaning with an understood I, an S as an understood you, and a T as an understood he, she, it. Your subject may be there occasionally, but do not always expect it to.